Here with the play-by-play on a JackHammers 3-0 lead into the top of the fourth inning is Mark Vasko.
All right, thanks very much. Ray Brown, first baseman, three-hitter in the lineup for Kansas City, steps in. He has one single so far in the first inning. And that one, breaking ball, misses outside for ball one from Brian Mazone. Given a 3-0 lead here. Into his fourth, no runs on 3 hits allowed by Mazone so far. Of course, he's been able to depend on a good defense again tonight with a couple of double plays. Is that pitch downstairs, and it's 2-0.
The old pitcher's best friend.
I believe it. 2 strikeouts in the first inning. Matter of fact, the first too many face he struck out. Hasn't hit anybody since. Hard ground ball. First baseman to his right. McKay backhands it. Knocks it down, picks it up. He'll run over to the bag, and 3 unassisted, and there's 1 away.
McKay is such a hard-nosed player. He works so hard no matter what position he's playing at. Today he's playing first base, I believe, for the first time this year. I can't remember him playing over there at first base at all this season, but I saw him taking the ground balls earlier today during infield practice and before that as well during batting practice, trying to grow accustomed to playing that first base bag before Bubba Smith gets acclimated and get back on over to first base. But Matt McKay, nice job there in stopping that grounder for the first out of the inning.
Well, it's Eddie Pearson with a pop out to the second baseman and takes that one inside for ball one. That second baseman, Gabby Delgado, once again, is in short right field. As the Pearson shift is on, it worked perfectly the first time. See what happens here. A swinging and a miss, good off speed down to the zone. He waved at it, 1-1. Again, the third baseman, LeCaff, was where the shortstop would normally be. Shortstop Furlett, outfield grass to the second base side, or to the first base side of the second base bag, I guess I should say. There's a line shot just over Furlett's glove into center field. Hit it hard for the base hit to center.
There's no real science to trying to beat this defensive setup except for trying to hit it the opposite way. But Eddie Pearson's not going to do that very often. But this time he found a way to just lift it above the infielders themselves and deposit it into center field for a base hit. So that's how Pearson was able to get his first hit of the ball game.
1 on, 1 out for Michael Brown, the second baseman. He walked his first go around. Well, can we turn our third double play in as many innings?
It feels like the right time, though. The barometric pressure is just right.
After he delivers. Swing and a miss. Boy, he tried to go out of the ballpark with that fastball up in the zone. And with the big cut and miss did Michael Brown. 1 strike.
Mark, we have spoken about the White Sox posting that shutout in Cleveland right now. And it's Freddie Garcia pitching a 5-hit ball game right now with 9 strikeouts.
Swing and a miss. Good fastball outside part of the plate. 0-2.
And how about the Indians? They haven't scored in how many innings?
Oh, my goodness.
For getting just 2 hits yesterday and a 14-0 thrashing.
Well, that game by Burley yesterday was just a masterpiece.
No doubt.
Here's the 0-2. But then taking his time now delivers, and it's a foul tip. And did he? Yeah, Goldbach held onto it, so that is a strikeout. There's 2 away. Ball was riding up and in on him, and he just couldn't get all of it.
Third strikeout of the ballgame for Brian Mazone, but his first K ever since the first frame, and he's got a string of total of 10 consecutive starts with at least 6 strikeouts. So he's just halfway there to that mark in his work here today.
That's Cody Nolan, who has a fly out to center. That was a great running catch by Allensworth. Pitch a strike down and away, just caught that corner. Perfect game. So there's 1 out in the 7th inning yesterday. Burley finally gives up his first base hit, but that was just a great game of the Indians. They can't figure out how to score anything. That pitch in the dirt, Goldbach, good save.
Maddox worked a complete game today, a 4-hitter over the Reds. 2 runs, both earned, no walks, 6 strikeouts. And the 2 runs happened to be home runs, solo shots.
Well, he was the old Greg Maddox again today. That's 2 starts in a row where he's been the old Maddox, and if that can continue for the rest of the second half, what a huge thing that'd be for the club. Runner goes, pitches outside, Goldbach will throw down and get him. Big Eddie Pearson tries to catch him napping, attempting to steal against the best defensive catcher in the league, and Goldie throws him out on a breaking pitch. He still was able to throw him out to retire the side. When you're down by 3, I'm not quite sure why you do that, but we'll take it. We go to the bottom of the 4th. JackHammers on top, 3-0. Bottom of the 4th inning, and the JackHammers with a 3-0 lead will have McKay, Delgado, and Furlett due up 7, 8, 9 in their batting order. All 3 runs for Joliet came in the first 3 batters of the ball game. Allensworth singled, LeCap singled. That drove in a run as Allensworth had advanced on a bad pickoff throw. So he scored on that LeCap base hit and logged into the 2-run blast. And that's where we are at 3-0. McKay 1 for 1 with a base hit. And a chopper foul past Jeff Eisen and towards the bullpen area down the left field side. Strike to McKay. Boy, it's turned out to be just a gorgeous night after the threatening weather all day.
I have to imagine the threatening weather did keep plenty of people away from the ballpark.
It's the 0-1. Chopper over the pitcher's head, and that will be fielded by the shortstop on the outfield grass. The spinning throw by Jones. Great play to get McKay.
Jack Jones came ranging over to his left behind the bag when he gloved the ball, which seemed like it was going to make its way into center field, but he gloved the ball, and then he spun around and threw on over to first base, but in the process he may have twisted his ankle because he is hobbling as he has gotten to his feet, and the trainer will head on out to check things out with their shortstop, Jack Jones.
Yeah, it might even be a groin muscle because he's sort of grabbing up high on that left leg, so we'll see. It's either that ankle or the groin on that side, but again, outstanding play just to get to that ball. And as you said, then the spin move, and maybe when he planted and spun, something grabbed with his spikes as he is having a hard time putting any weight on that leg, and he may come out.
Al Gallagher is out there, the manager. He's got his hands on his hips as he walks with Jack Jones. Jack Jones can't even walk straight right now. He's hobbling around. Yeah, he's done. 10 back to the dugout as Jack Jones. His day is done. And he heads back to the dugout on the third base side of the ballpark, and that means Al Gallagher's got to pull out that scorecard and see who's on it and who he can put where. I have this feeling that Al will take his time.
I think so too. That was just a great play. Sadly, though, he's hurt himself, and so Jones will have to come out. There's 1 out, bases empty here in the bottom of the 4th. Gabby Delgado will come to the plate, but of course we'll still have to wait for that defensive move to be made. Delgado, again, just activated after missing extensive amount of time with that injury. Sacrifice bunt for him his first time up, and not only is it good to see Bubba in the lineup today, but also very good to see, obviously, Gabby Delgado back in this lineup for the JackHammers as well.
No question, as Jeff Eisen alluded to during that Down from the Tracks pregame interview, you take a guy who has just 1 error on the season, second base, and you put him back in the lineup. He's the best fielding second baseman here in the Northern League, and not only that, but he's a pretty good hitter as well. His batting average was at about 290 or so when he did sustain the injury, the deep bone bruise on that left hand of his back when the team was in Winnipeg, and then he decided to start just play with it for 2 weeks, and his batting average completely went south on down to about 250 or so, and before he finally went on the disabled list and was able to be given treatment. Now here today, Gabby Delgado, after being put on the disabled list on July 6th, is now back in the lineup for the Joliet JackHammers.
Well, I'm not sure who the shortstop is, mainly because they have red numbers on black jerseys, which are incredibly hard to read. I can't read the second digit as a 2.
I think it's 22. I think it's Phil Thompson.
But Phil Thompson listed as a pitcher on their roster.
Phil Thompson
was the only reason that I was thinking it might not be Phil Thompson. They list him as a pitcher, yet he is now the shortstop for the Kansas City T-Bone.
He started the year as an outfielder, moved to pitcher, and now who knew? Who knew that he had shortstop in him as well?
Okay, so Phil Thompson, the very versatile Mr. Thompson.
Oh, that one.
Now is the shortstop. Well, again, Gabby Delgado, who spit it out, steps in from the left side. And that fastball will miss downstairs. It's ball 1. Long look in. And ready. There's the pitch. Swing and a miss. Great off speed. Gabby tried to hold up and could not. And it's the strike. McClellan, this is his 4th inning of work, just his 3rd start of the year after being a reliever all season. Chopped foul that bounces off of Delgado's leg into fair territory, but just a strike, and it's 1-2. So both teams with 4 hits for the moment, but the JackHammers have the 3 runs on the board. The Gabby would be Furlan.
Still savoring the All-Star festivities that occurred here earlier this week. A lot of fun that was. The South defeating the North 8-5.
Pitch in the dirt, a ball to Gabby, so it's 2-2.
And I think, Mark, perhaps my favorite part of the All-Star festivities is that every JackHammer contributed some way or another. Every JackHammer made their presence known in that All-Star game in a positive way.
Well, for all the scouts that were on hand, I would say all 6 JackHammers were very impressive. Hard ground ball. That's going to be a fair ball down the right field line. Gabby will go for at least 2. Let's see. He's taking a long look. Yep, he's going to go for 3. This one rolls all the way to the corner. He's going to make it easily. That's a stand-up triple down the right field line for Gabby Delgado.
He knew when he was about halfway to second base that third base was certainly an option for him as he grounded it to the right spot of this ballpark, down towards that Illinois brick billboard in the right field corner. Gabby Delgado picks up triple number 2 on the season that ties him with Josh Loggins for the team lead in that particular category. But more importantly, it puts a JackHammer in scoring position with just 1 out, and that means a fly ball deep enough by Dan Furlan can score Gabby Delgado to enhance this JackHammer's lead, which already stands at 3-0.
Now, you can't stop scoring, even though you do have Brian Mazone on the mound and you feel pretty comfortable. The Cubs found out the other day against the Cardinals, they put that 7th spot on the board or whatever. You know what? You score early, but you stop scoring, giving a chance for the team to come back. So let's see if they can start piling more on here. 1-0 the count to Furlan, who has struck out so far today. Right-hander in the stretch, the 1-1, or I should say 1-0. He's now pop foul, so it becomes 1-1. The count to Furlan. Allensworth on deck. Of course, that all-star situation we talked about with the scouts that were on hand, I don't know how the various scouts could walk away, not be impressed downstairs for a ball, with maybe a couple of JackHammers in particular. You watch Goldbach maneuver behind the plate. You watch him throw the ball down to second, just an infield, in between innings, all these different kinds of things, and then hit the ball. It's hard not to come away impressed with him, let alone Mazone or Loggins with his long home run. There's some guys that the scouts, I would think, would have to be paying serious attention to here. That one's fouled away.
I wonder what the attention that was given to all the players that day by those scouts, if that was the preliminary look, and then that'll be followed up with a second look here perhaps in the first 3-4 days of the thereafter, and then the signings will begin again, the multiple signings coming up here, where players will be snatched up on this league. Because Chris Weekly, I don't know how that guy can still play for the Schaumburg Flyers, the MVP of the ball game on Tuesday night. He plays the pace of the game the same way the major leaguers do.
Infield in all the way around as that one fouled out of play. Runner at third and 1 out. 3-2 the count to Furlan. There's no question. It's amazing the number of players that have already been signed from Schaumburg's roster this year as it is, but it's astonishing that a 6th one hasn't been inked already, and that's Weekly. And yet they still continue to win. That's the amazing thing.
Very true.
They keep losing ball players, and they still keep piling up W's. There's a floater, short right center field, and he'll drop in there for a base hit. He'll go for 2. The throw going to be close, but he'll slide in there with an RBI double. Furlan knocks in a run to make it 4-0.
And he made that one look very easy as he put it out in right center field, and then he hustled around first base, cruised into a sliding feet first double. Dan Furlan does extend that lead for the Joliet JackHammers, and up to 4 after that 1-out triple by Gabby Delgado. So nice piece of hitting by the JackHammer shortstop.
Hit that off the end of the bat. Actually carried farther than I thought it would. Goes into the gap and deep enough to have him leg out the 2 baggers. So runner at second. Still only 1 out for Jermaine Allensworth. He has singled and scored and walked on base twice and takes a strike at the knees. And again, if Allensworth gets on base all day, he can pretty much put a W on the Joliet side of things. And so far, he's been on base twice. And the 0-1 swinging a foul tip. So a couple of strikes now to Allensworth. LeCaff on deck. 4 runs on 6 hits now for the JackHammers. How about the fact they've got a double, a triple, and a homer out of those 6 hits here today. The 0-2. Swing and a miss. Allensworth goes down. That was an all-arm swing there. He couldn't have been too happy with that. And there's 2 away.
McClellan now has 4 strikeouts in the ballgame. His first case since the strikeout that ended the bottom of the second frame. That's a tough out to get there. To get Jermaine Ellsworth to go down swinging, that doesn't happen very often.
So John LeCamp, run-scoring single in the first. He would come around to score. Since then he has struck out, so he's 1 for 2. Trying to start a brand new hitting streak. 17-gamer concluded the other day. Stretch and pitch. And high and outside for a ball. Loggins moves into the on-deck circle. And early on in the second half, Schaumburg 5-2 entering tonight. Gary 4-3. Kansas City 3-4. Joliet 2-4. And there's that one. Strike on the outside corner, and then making it 2-5. Look at the early South Division standings here in the second half. Plenty of time for the JackHammers to put something together. And the 1-1. Swing and a miss. We have a good off-speed 1-2. In the north, St. Paul 5-1 for their start. Fargo 4-2. Sioux Falls and Sioux City 3-3. And Winnipeg enters tonight at 1-5. Long look in. Here's the 1-2. Swing and a miss. Good breaking ball down and away. And LeCamp strikeouts. Back-to-back Ks from McClellan to get out of the jam. He needed that, but still gave up the triple and the double. So the JackHammers get a run on those 2 hits. 1 man left on. We're through 4. It's 4-0 Joliet. Welcome back to downtown Joliet. I'm Mark Vasko. He's Brian Dolgin. We are in the top of the 5th inning of a 4-0 Joliet advantage. It'll be Cody Nolan and Phil Thompson. And it's Matt Sirianni, the catcher, due up for the Kansas City T-Bones against Brian Mazone. His usual stellar self here tonight. Well, he's working on what could be his 3rd straight shutout. There's a ways to go yet, but 4 innings in, still no runs allowed by Mazone. His streak of scoreless innings runs to 22 straight. He had given up a run in his last inning of his last outing prior to the shutout streak, so 22 straight shutout innings for Brian Mazone. Cody Nolan has a fly out to center. 0 for 1 on the day. And he was at the plate when Eddie Pearson was out trying to steal to end the 4th inning. So he's back up there again here now to start the 5th, and he'll take that one right down center at the knees for a strike. And what they were doing sending Eddie Pearson, I don't know if that was a botched hit and run. I don't know what it was. Either way, it was ill-advised, I would say. Here it's a little floater. Left field on the run, coming over towards left center field. Corey Paul will track that one down. Boy, the ball's carrying very well tonight.
I was just going to say that ball is flying off the bats. Both ball clubs, the JackHammers and the T-Bones. Corey Paul was able to track that last one down. Brian Mazone pitching a pretty good ball game here tonight, all things considered. 3 Ks and a walk for himself.
Here's up Phil Thompson. That'll be his first at bat since coming on to play shortstop in place of Jack Jones, who injured himself on a great defensive play earlier on. Still 253 as far as the hitter goes. And the pitch. Line shot, but that's going to be right at Josh Loggins. Just a couple steps back and over. He'll make that grab, and just like that, there's 2 down.
Well, it's always nice when you can just throw one pitch and have the player, or the batter rather, hit it and go right to a fielder that doesn't really have to move much. Easy work.
Doodad for Matt Sirianni, the catcher. Brian Mazone has been given a couple of double plays behind him today. That one's fouled coming back. So a couple of the singles he's allowed were erased in quick fashion. So really, even though he's given up 2 hits, 1 in the 3rd, 1 in the 4th, he's actually trying to get his 3rd straight 1-2-3 inning, so to speak. There's that one just outside. And it's 1-1 to Sirianni. Also trying to complete his 23rd straight shutout inning. And the 1-1. Swing and a miss. Good hard fastball down and away. He waved that at 1-2. That's a great pitch at 85 miles an hour. It's like the first Midwest Bank Speedo pitch scoreboard. This is empty, 2 out, and the 1-2 delivery. Off speed in the dirt. He did not go after it, so Goldbach will smother that one. And it's 2-2. Number 30 comes back up on the mound, the left-hander. Most valuable pitcher of that All-Star game. Let's go with the 2-2. Foul coming back again. Just hits the top of the screen. Do it one more time. Zone came into tonight. The league leader in strikeouts at 77. With his 3 tonight, he now has 80 on the campaign. The 2-2 there, swing and a miss. Strikes him out. Chalk up another one, make it number 81. Good fastball up and out. Sirianni came up empty. Another 1-2-3 inning. No runs, no hits, no errors. Nobody left on. Bottom of 5 on the way of a 4-0 Joliet lead. So it's the bottom of the 5th inning. Joliet on top 4-0, and they've got the big guns coming up. 3, 4, 5. Loggins, Smith, and Paul due up against McClellan. And the 4-run lead. See if they can add to that. Loggins already with a 2-run homer. He was also out trying to bunt his way on when he popped out to third. That was in that 3rd inning. So Loggins will dig in his 2-run blast. In the left field, a high soaring one by the picnic tables in left field. First pitch here. Breaking ball down and away, and he waved at it, and it's 1 strike. Totally overcast, but comfortable at the ballpark. Right breeze blowing out towards right. Light's taking effect now. And the pitch delivered. Fastball down and away. It's 1-1.
Mark, one of my favorite days of the year is coming up for the Joliet JackHammers. The Negro League Tribute is on Sunday here at Silver Cross Field. That's when the Joliet JackHammers and the Kansas City T-Bones will shed the uniforms they're wearing now, and they will wear the authentic uniforms from the Negro League era.
Swing and a miss. That breaking ball down and away, 1-2.
There will be 4 former Negro League players who will be in attendance that day, including Johnny Washington, Charles Johnson, Hank Presswood, and Ernest Westfield. So it'd be nice to have those 4 gentlemen on hand for a Negro League tribute, something that we do every year here at Silver Cross Field.
Swing and a miss again. Loggins chased out a hard slider down and away, and he comes up empty. And how about that? That's 3 straight strikeouts now for McClellan. He's getting stronger, it appears.
He's in a groove. He started off a bit shaky. In fact, the first 3 batters of the game all reached on hits, including the RBI single by LeCap and the 2-run home run by Josh Loggins. But gradually, he has settled down.
Bubba Smith checks in at 0 for 2. A hard grounder to short, a hard grounder to second. And takes that one outside for a ball. And that Bubba chant started there.
How about that, huh?
Yeah, already. They're restless now. It's all right. You're 0 for 2. Now it's time. What Bubba does. Here's the 1-0. That went downstairs. 2-0 to Bubba Smith.
What a welcoming. What a welcome. These fans don't forget. They remember quite well the 2002 push by Bubba Smith and the JackHammers into the playoffs.
Well, I was so excited all day for this ball game. Zone on the mound, Bubba in the lineup. Then I got to the ballpark and got another bonus with Gabby in the line. Fisted top foul coming back towards us, but it'll land in the seating bowl out in front of us.
So mark that Negro League tribute coming up on Sunday at 2:05 p.m. Start with Johnny Washington, Charles Johnson, Hank Presswood, and Ernest Westfield. All 4 will be signing autographs that day. For tickets, call 815-726-2255 or simply stop on by the Silver Cross Field ticket office.
2-1, swing and a miss. He chased that one down and away, 2-2. That's always a lot of fun, and you see all the different uniforms represented by all the ball players on the diamond that day from all the different Negro League teams. Here's the 2-2. Swing and a miss. He loses the bat. That goes all the way towards the shortstop, and Bubba strikes out. 4 straight Ks for McClellan.
This guy's in some sort of a zone. McClellan, that is. 4 Ks, total of 7 for the game.
2 out for Corey Paul, who was bounced out. He's also reached on an error. And for some reason, the batters just can't seem to lay off that hard-breaking ball going down and away from him. Those were the right-handers. Now we'll see what the lefty Corey Paul does here.
He had 7 strikeouts in that last outing of his against the Schaumburg Flyers. And a total of 6 innings of work, so this is common territory for him. Such limited amount of time.
Fastball, that'll just miss the knees. Ball 1 to Corey Paul. So Goldbach moves into the on-deck circle. 4-0 Joliet here in the 5th. And the Loggins 2-run homer, the big shot of the day. That fastball down low, so 2-0. Pretty amazing to see Schaumburg still batting .302 as a team. They lead this league by bunches in that category.
Now, there's just no weak link in that lineup. Oh, top to bottom. Even after all the players that have been sold to major league organizations.
2-0 is going to miss down and away 3-0. These two teams pretty much close to the bottom in that category. Joliet 260 as a ball club. Kansas City 263. We got Schaumburg up top at 302 for goodness sake. 3-0 pitch to Corey Paul, and that'll be a strike on the outside corner. What's interesting thing too is in the ERA battle, though, JackHammers leading this team by quite a bit. Joliet coming in as a team at .415, the earned run average. Kansas City .519, so more than a run a game difference between these two in that category. The 3-1. Line drive right at the first baseman to make the catch to retire the side. Ray Brown throws the glove up, takes one step to the right, and makes the grab on that ball. That was crushed. As it is, it's a 1-2-3 inning. We're through 5. Joliet on top 4-0. Well, it's the top of the 6th inning at Silver Cross Field where the Joliet JackHammers are on top 4-0, and their ace, Brian Mazone, back to the mound, working on, well, what we hope is his 3rd straight shutout. He's got 5 of the 9 innings in here tonight. Hiroshi Fujimoto, the 9-hitter, then it's Rick Prieto and Chris Lapine. And of course, we say that pretty nonchalantly, but that's an astonishing thing when you think about it, that it's still possible. And he's got the 23 straight scoreless innings working on right now. We'll see how deep he goes into this ball game. Just 3 straight complete games would be impressive enough, let alone 3 straight maybe complete game shutouts, for goodness sake.
And if he gets a 5th shutout, that ties a Northern League record for most shutouts in a season, and it's still just beyond the midway point of the season.
Well, we talked about how he leads the league in strikeout centering today. He was 2nd in the league in ERA to Mike Peschel, who had 165. Mazone was 175 for his ERA coming in, and obviously a good chance he'll take over that league lead in that category by the time he's done, too. Fujimoto has a fly to left. As his teammate Rich Hyde leads the league in wins with 8. If his score stays the same, Mazone would also pick up his 8th win to tie for the league lead in that. There's still a long way to go yet. Pitch outside for a ball. Those are still all what-ifs. Ball 1 to Fujimoto. That's from the left side and pops that one up. That should be easy. Loggins, couple steps over to his right, and he'll make that grab with a fly out to right. And there's 1 down. Now it's Rick Prieto. He has a strikeout and a single, a 1-for-2 day. It's a 4-hitter for the moment for Mazone. He had that interesting 9-hit shutout the last time. We don't hear about too many of those, but again, he would give up little bloop singles, those kind of things. But they were never able to mount a rally against him, and certainly not much of a rally against him here today yet either for Kansas City. Only in the 2nd inning did they ever have 2 men on base at the same time. There was a strike outside corner at the knee. There was a walk. The lone one he's allowed. And a single. But that was also a 5-4-3 double play to end that rally. There's the 0-1. Beautiful breaking ball that drops in. That'll just miss, however, and it's 1-1. Also a 6-4-3 double play in the 3rd by the JackHammer defense. 1-1 pitch. Hard ground ball up the middle. Shortstop coming over from behind the second base bag. Furlet fields, twirls, throws, and gets him another very impressive play.
Here's the difference between Dan Furlan and Jack Jones. Tough play going towards the middle part of the infield. Jack Jones, he gloves it. He makes a spin. He falls to the ground after making the great throw on over to first base. Leaves the game due to injury. Dan Furlan comes across the middle part of the field, gloves the baseball. He regains his composure as he's spinning, and then he steps, throws on over to first base. Ho-hum, just another day at the ballpark for Dan Furlan at shortstop.
Yeah, I was just going to say, he made that one look nonchalant. If you can possibly make that play look nonchalant, he did. 2 out. Chris Lapine, the lefty, takes that one. A strike down and away, just caught that corner. Quick slider at 85 miles an hour, and it's 1 strike.
Granted, we don't know if Jack Jones had a nagging injury going into this ball game today, but there is still a vast difference anyway. Look at it, even from the routine plays to the great plays between the two.
Line shot foul into his own bullpen there for Lapine.
Mark, you were talking about so much about the shutouts that Brian Mazone has has done. While on the Advocare Major League scoreboard, the White Sox, for the second consecutive night, have shut out the Cleveland Indians, this time by a score of 3-0. A 6-hitter, 5 hits allowed by Freddie Garcia, who improved to 8-8. And Takatsu, Mr. Zero, picked up his 7th save. He worked the final inning. As in between there, Felipe picked up his 13th hold of the season. One of my favorite stats, the hold.
Absolutely. That was a waste pitch by Mazone that was way high. Imagine that into the backstop. It's 1-2.
Bobby Thigpen, after we had the interview yesterday, or 2 days ago, he was completely surprised when I asked him, so what's Barry Jones up to these days?
The 1-2. Strike 3 called on the inside corner. We'll hold for the exciting answer to that question in just a second. It'll be the 5th strikeout for Mazone, 24th straight shutout inning for Brian Mazone. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left. That's also, in essence, thanks to double plays, the 4th straight 1-2-3 inning for him as well. Bottom of 6 on the way, 4-0 Joliet. Bottom of the 6th inning in the JackHammers to have Goldbach, McKay, and Delgado due up. Actually against the new pitcher, David Vian, the right-hander, 6'1", 210 out of Farmington Hills, Michigan. Played last year for the Wisconsin Timber Rattlers, the Midwest League. There's a bouncer to the third baseman. Short hops it, throws across the diamond in time. So Goldbach is out. Fujimoto to Ray Brown. There's one away.
Short hop there to Fujimoto, who made a nice pick on the play. Doesn't look all too comfortable over there at third base. After all, Fujimoto is a backup catcher that has played all over this diamond this year. Second base, I believe a little bit at shortstop too, in the outfield, and at third base now.
So in a sense, the JackHammers have to be happy to get McClellan out of the ballgame, even though they had touched him for 4 runs. He had really been cruising along. He had retired the last 5 in a row, and 4 of those by strikeout. But I mean, this is just his 3rd start of the year after being a reliever, so pitch count was getting up, so they take him out. Bring in Vian, and that pitch, a strike outside corner at the knees to Matt McKay, who has singled, and also bounced out to the shortstop. That was the play that was the injury for Jones. Why he had to leave the game. Here's the 0-1 pitch to McKay, and that's a high fly ball. Short left center field. Long run coming in, and over the ball dropped. Nolan got there. It dropped off the heel of the glove. Play at second base will not be in time. McKay slides in.
That was just hit off the end of the bat by Matt McKay out to left field. There was a long way to go for the left fielder, Cody Nolan. He got there in time, but just couldn't squeeze the ball in his glove. It dropped down, and then McKay, great hustle and down to second base because the outfielders, they threw a changeup over to second base. I don't think they could believe that McKay was going on down to second base. He got there and makes the most of that error, the 3rd of the game for these Kansas City T-Bones.
Runner in scoring position, 1 out for Gabby Delgado, who tripled and scored in the 4th. He's also had a beautiful sac bunt. For Vian, this is, by the way, just his 5th outing of the year. 0-1 with an .853 earned run average. 6 1/3 innings coming in, 8 hits, 6 runs. 3 strikeouts, 2 walks. Opponents hitting .286 against him. So, see if the JackHammers can add to their 4-0 lead against the right-hander. Fastball outside corner, swing and a miss. 1 strike to Gabby Delgado. Boy, nice to have him back in the lineup too.
Oh, it really is in all facets of the game, whether it be defensively or offensively. It's just great to have Gabby back in that lineup. As Jeff Isom, the manager, alluded to during the Down from the Tracks pregame interview, it was just a situation where they tried out so many different players at second base.
Hard ground ball. That's going to be a fair ball down the line. First baseman will knock it down. That's all he can do with it. Run around in third. They will hold him there. Delgado should be credited there with an infield single, I would think.
I don't know. Ray Brown, he dropped the ball after he had gotten up on the play and started going towards first base, but then he realized, oops, I left something behind. It ends up being an E3 on the play. An error by Ray Brown. 4th error of the game in back-to-back plays with miscues.
Well, you're right. He had to go a long way for it, but he did get there. Like you said, got a glove on it, so they're going to give him the E3. Runners at the corners, only 1 out for Dan Furlett. He had a run-scoring double his last time up. And James Hyman did do a nice job. It was like they finally found somebody who could plug the gap. But once you get Gabby back, guess what? The job is yours again. Thank you very much. Let's see what Furlett can do. Chopper left side. That should score the run. Shortstop going to have to charge. Only players to first. They do get him. But again, Furlett, nice job to have the RBI and the bouncer to make it a 5-0 ball game.
Well, Dan Furlett, he drove in the 4th run of the game for the JackHammers, and now he gets credited for a 2nd RBI to drive in the 5th run of the game. So Dan Furlett's getting the job done today on the offensive side of the game. not just the defensive side. Hence the bonus.
His usual stellar self defensively, and like you say, even some added offense. A runner at second base, 2 out for Jermaine Allensworth. He has singled and scored, walked, and struck out today. 5-0 Joliet here in the 6th inning. And that fastball will miss high, so ball 1. LeCaff moves into the on-deck circle. Kansas City coming out a little sluggish defensively in this first game since the break. 4 errors on the board now. There's a strike outside corner at the knee.
The JackHammers capitalized on the error by the pitcher, the starting pitcher, McClellan, in the first inning when they got the RBI single by John LeCaff. They could not capitalize on an error in the 3rd inning as they left a runner on base, but already here in the 6th, they've capitalized on the errors that have been accumulated thus far.
9-shot foul right field side. 1-2 to Allensworth. When you know Brian Mazone's pitching for the other team, you want to give that team extra outs? I don't think so. And a chance to score more runs. 4 runs have helped JackHammers put 5 on the board. Foul first base side. Goes off the backstop. 1-2 to Allensworth. One of the 6 Joliet All-Stars, and it could have been 7 because LeCaff certainly was deserving. Allensworth waves that bat. He's ready. Another 1-2 pitch. This is outside. Count evens at 2 apiece. Jeff Isom, the skipper in the third base coach's box. He's been busy tonight, which is a nice thing to see. Mike Pinno coaching at first as always. The 2-2. High pop foul first base side out of play. Mike Pinno enjoyed being on the winning side of the All-Star game after taking the beating that he took in the celebrity softball game.
The beating is putting it mildly.
Yeah, he was very happy to finally be on the W side of an exhibition game. Although I think next year, he wants to be able to pick his roster. I think he was unhappy with the roster he was given in that softball game. That fastball rides inside, backs Allensworth away, and it's 3-2. But again, by all accounts, that was just a huge success. Obviously, we had a full house for it. This thing raised like $50,000 for Kyle Petty's charity. It's that softball game, and I guess all the NASCAR guys that didn't play are now really mad because they found out what a beautiful place this was and how much fun they had, and so now everybody wants to play next year again. There's a line shot foul off the screen, just past the first base dugout by the camera well. Allensworth having a good at-bat here. He's trying to work it to finally get a good pitch and put it in play. Baseball tossed out to the mound. And they're set to go again. That'll miss downstairs, and it's the walk of Allensworth, and boy, did he work that one.
He did. Second time that he has drawn a walk today. 3rd time that Allensworth has been on base, and he's been a player that's been flirting and been in the top 5 in the league in on-base percentage, and he shows why right there. He can work it to that count of 3-2, and he can just foul off all sorts of pitches and then ultimately take a walk. No problem whatsoever. That's the great discipline he has as a hitter here in the Northern League after having such vast amount of major league playing experience.
Now John LeCaff, the RBI single in the first. He's done a couple of strikeouts. See what he does to this pitcher. And takes that fastball down low for a ball. David Vian. Relief of McClellan. 2 on, 2 out, 5-0 Joliet. The 1-0. Swing and just chopped that one. Just barely made contact. Pitcher hung on anyway, and it's 1-1. So Logan's on deck. LeCaff can keep this thing going, and they can add to their lead. 3 runs in the first. Then LeCaff had the RBI, and then it was a 2-run homer by Logan. A run in the 4th, and a run-scoring double by Furlett. The RBI bounce out this inning, again by Furlett. There's a line drive base hit left field. Let's see if that scores a run. They'll send him home. The play will be cut off. That's an RBI single. John LeCaff, 6-0 Joliet.
Second time John LeCaff has driven in a run with a single tonight. The first one was a grounder to center field. This time a line drive to left field. He's 2 for 4. The JackHammers offensive machine is clicking on all cylinders here tonight at Silver Cross Field.
Well, and 2 errors in the inning, and 2 men have scored in the inning. 2 on, 2 out for Josh Logan. And a long 2-run homer in the first. Since then, he was out trying to bunt, and he's also struck out. Bubba moves into the on-deck circle, and this is where, again, Josh is going to see pretty good pitches. The last thing you want to do is walk Loggins to load the bases for Bubba. He gets a fastball, but it's down and in for ball 1. Big time trouble here for Vian. Long look at second. Here's the pitch. Little bloop, short left field. That'll drop in there for a base hit. They're going to send Allensworth home. This could be a close play. The throw, nope, it's going to be a bad one. It's an RBI single for Loggins. 7-0.
Well, Jeff Isom has recognized the strength or lack thereof of the arm of the left fielder, Cody Nolan, and that's why he was sending the base runner all the way coming around third base. Back-to-back RBI singles for the Joliet JackHammers, who are pouring it on now against the Kansas City T-Bones.
And timeout called. There'll be a mound conference here for the T-Bones. And understandably, Nolan was playing very deep against Loggins, so when he dumped that into short left, no chance to get it. But when he got to it, a good arm at all, that would have been a close play, but that thing barely cleared third base on the fly. So there's not a lot, as you say, on that throw. They must have known not a great arm in left, and as it turned out, not close at all. Now here's Bubba. In his first game as a jackhammer in the 2004 campaign, so far he is 0 for 3. 2 ground outs and a strikeout. Let's see if Bubba can come through in game 1. Joliet uniform this time around. Everybody wants Bubba to get it done here with 2 on, 2 out. It's the fastball and lines it foul. Wow. That'll wake everybody up in the first base dugout.
Yeah, hello to his teammates right there. They all went ducking down behind the screen that shields that dugout. A lot of them are now seeking shelter.
Yikes. All right. Bubba waves that bat again. See what happens on the 1-strike pitch. Fouled straight back. 0-2. He got a fastball, then he got a changeup. See what he gets in the third pitch.
Getting his feet wet is Bubba Smith, who's got the 0 for the day going right now, but he's just getting reacclimated with the game of baseball after about a week hiatus since the Mexican League playoffs concluded for his Monterrey Sultanes.
The 0-2 to Bubba. Down and away, just missed. 1-2. Pretty good pitch.
Well, the tight strike zone that it is tonight, Bubba may have known in the back of his mind that he can take a pitch that's that close and get away with it.
That's a good point. Now the 1-2. Down and away. Matter of fact, it bounces in. The runners are going to advance all the way to second and third.
Wild pitch is the assessment by the official scorer. As both base runners advance 90 feet on the play, so that means Bubba Smith has a 2 RBI opportunity.
Bounced in, went off the catcher, and actually rolled into fair territory, third base side, before anybody could get to it. Runners advance easily. Now a base hit could score a pair. It's already 7-0 Joliet here in the 6th. Bubba trying to make it more. Fans chanting Bubba's name. Let's see what happens on the 2-2. Line shot, right field line, but foul. That'll go up onto the True Green Kemlon grassy berm over there, and the youngsters will chase that one down. On deck is Corey Paul. Bubba Smith is the 8th man to bat here in this 6th inning, so the pitcher Vian has been treated rudely here. But then again, defensively, they haven't helped him out either. A long time to get the sign from Seriani. Now the 2-2. Breaking ball, strike 3 on the outside corner, and he knew it. That was just a great pitch that time to retire the side. But the damage done with 3 more runs on the board. A couple of errors out there, but a couple of big hits as well. We're through 6. It's now 7-0 JackHammers. Well, Brian, congratulations. Another outstanding performance. I think everybody was hoping for that 3rd straight shutout, but still a great ball game.
Yeah, I was hoping for it too. I think, that was probably the only reason why I went back in the 9th. I was kind of getting tired. I knew I had a spot up more than anything else in that inning. But, they did a good job of hitting. I made some pretty good pitches, and they went with them. So,
well, and it was another postage stamp, I thought, tonight, which is also another impressive part of your victory here today, because you didn't have a whole lot to work with, I don't think.
No, I didn't. I mean, there's a few calls that I didn't get that put me behind the count, but, I struggled and I came in the 2nd inning, and I told Goldbach, I said, man, I don't have anything tonight. The curveball wasn't there, the changeup was hanging, and the slider was just spinning. So, but we battled through it, and, once again, our defense was huge. I mean, Dan Furley, I can't say enough about him. Allensworth made a hell of a play in center field, which probably saved the run with the runner on first right there. And Matty Kay, even his first day at first base, made a diving play, which probably saved the double. So, once again, all around, it's a team effort.
Well, and it's got to help they spotted you 3 early, too.
Oh, that's huge. I mean, anytime you can go out there with a 3-run lead, it makes you relax a little bit. And, my last few starts, I haven't gotten that. But, tonight was fun.
They turned 2 double plays behind you, and it had to be nice to get Gabby back too.
Oh, definitely. I mean, he's a huge part of that defense. I mean, you know, the way he turns double play and the range that he has, you know, it just makes you more comfortable when you already are out there.
It had to help the team's psyche, especially for guys like you and Rich who know about Bubba and they know what he can do. That, you know, to realize you're going to get some added punch in this lineup now too.
Oh yeah, it's huge. I mean, especially, you know, that's the one guy. You know, obviously Loggins is there too, but you know, one guy, you're down a run and he comes up. You know, one swing of the bat, tie the game or take a lead. You know, I think it's going to help Loggins too. Having Bubba behind him, he's going to get a lot more fastballs. You know, because you can't walk Loggins and get to Bubba because then you're in real trouble. So I think between the two of them, it's going to be exciting second half.
So what, you know, stuff-wise came around for you here today?
You know, it was just they were swinging the bat early, and you know I was able to spot the fastball, and they were swinging it. You know, they did hit more than I would like, a few balls hard, but you know, fortunately, the way things are going for me right now, they're just going right at people, and that's kind of the wave I'm riding right now.
I was going to say, do you have another streak comparable to this?
No, not even close. I mean, it's unthinkable. You know, I mean, I go home and I shake my head and I'm just going, what's going on here? You know, I mean, even the strikeouts that I'm getting is just out of my ordinary, and you know, the scoreless inning is just everything's just happening the way it should be right now.
Yeah, I mean, did you think you could lead this league in strikeouts?
No chance. I mean, there's no way. I mean, I just never been that guy. You know, I've been working hard on getting my velocity up and working hard on my off-speed stuff. You know, that's probably helping, and having a guy like Goldbach back there that's able to make you throw pitches in certain situations where you wouldn't, and you end up getting strikeouts.
Well, hey, just congratulations and keep it going.
Yeah, we're going to work hard, and thanks, Scotty Mo, for getting my arm healthy.
Way to go.
I had to throw that in there. That's for you, Mo.
That was almost 3 most games in a row without Scotty Mo's name, so we're glad you got it in there. Thanks, Brian. Brian Mazone.